The ground shook at 3:47 a.m., not like an earthquake, like something breaking open after being sealed for too long. The drill had been running for 18 hours straight. The crew was exhausted. Marty Lagina had not slept in 2 days. He was standing by the monitor, coffee in hand, eyes bloodshot, when the torque gauge suddenly spiked and then dropped to 0. The drill had fallen through something. Not rock, not soil, empty space. Everyone in the control room froze. No one spoke. No one breathed. The sonar operator stared at his screen with his mouth open. The void below them was massive, 40 feet wide, 30 feet deep. And inside that void, the sensors were detecting metal. Lots of metal, gold, silver, copper, and something else. Something the sensors could not identify. After 13 seasons, after $55 million, after years of criticism and doubt, the Lagina brothers had finally found it. The Oak Island secret that nobody was supposed to see. The secret that someone had buried over 500 years ago and hoped would never be discovered. Do you believe in fate? Do you believe that some secrets are meant to be found, no matter how well they are hidden? Or do you believe that the Laginas just got lucky after wasting $55 million on a hole in the ground? Let us go back to the beginning. Not to 1795 when the teenagers first found the money pit, further back, to a time when Europe was burning. The year was 1307, Friday, October 13th. The French king Philip IV had decided to destroy the Knights Templar. He wanted their money. He wanted their power. He wanted them gone. On that single day, hundreds of Templar knights were arrested across France. They were tortured. They were burned at the stake. Their Grand Master, Jacques de Molay, was killed slowly over a fire. Before he died, he cursed the king and the Pope. Both were dead within a year, but not all the Templars were caught. Some escaped. Some fled to Scotland. Some took ships and sailed west across the Atlantic Ocean to a place no European had ever seen. They carried something with them, something valuable, something dangerous. Something that had to be hidden forever. Do you believe that story? Or do you think it is just a legend invented to sell books and TV shows? Historians have debated the Templar escape for centuries. There is evidence that Templar ships left France before the arrests. There is evidence that they had maps of the North Atlantic. There is evidence that they knew about land to the west long before Columbus. The Mi'kmaq people of Nova Scotia have oral traditions about visitors who came from across the sea before the Europeans arrived. Those visitors wore crosses on their chests and built structures underground. The Mi'kmaq called Oak Island the floating island of the dead. They never went there. So what did the Templars bury on Oak Island? That is the question that has consumed treasure hunters for over 200 years. The answer, it turns out, was worth $290 million. But the money is not the real story. The real story is what that treasure represents. The modern story of Oak Island begins in 1795. 3 teenagers rowed out to the island after hearing legends of buried treasure. They found a circular depression in the ground near a large oak tree. They started digging. Every 10 feet they found a layer of wooden logs, hand-cut, hand-placed. At 30 feet they found coconut fiber. On an island in Canada, coconut fiber does not grow there. Someone had brought it from the Caribbean or Africa. At 40 feet they found a stone with strange writing. A professor later translated it. It said, 40 feet below, 2 million pounds lie buried. 2 million pounds in 1795 was an unimaginable fortune. It was more money than most countries had in their treasuries. The teenagers could not believe their luck. They kept digging. Then water poured into the hole. The ocean had been channeled into the pit through hidden tunnels. The teenagers barely escaped with their lives. They had discovered something terrifying. The treasure was booby-trapped. Someone had built flood tunnels connecting the money pit to the Atlantic Ocean. The moment you got close to the treasure, the ocean would drown you. Would you have kept digging after nearly drowning, or would you have gone home and pretended you never saw anything? Many people kept digging after the teenagers. The Onslow Company tried in 1803. The Truro Company tried in 1849. The Oak Island Association tried in 1861. They all failed. They all lost money. Some lost their lives. The first death came in 1861. A boiler exploded deep in the shaft. One worker was killed instantly. The second and third deaths came in 1897. 2 brothers were buried alive when a tunnel collapsed. The fourth and fifth deaths came in 1965. A father and son were overcome by toxic gas. The sixth death came in 2019. A construction worker suffered a heart attack while operating heavy machinery. 6 men died searching for the Oak Island treasure. The legend says 7 must die before the secret is revealed. The curse of Oak Island. 6 down, 1 to go. Do you believe in curses? Or do you think the deaths were just accidents caused by dangerous work in unstable conditions? Even Franklin Delano Roosevelt believed in the Oak Island mystery. Before he became president, Roosevelt invested money in Oak Island expeditions. He followed every discovery from the White House. He told friends that Oak Island was one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in the world, but even Roosevelt could not crack it. Then in 2006, 2 brothers from Michigan bought a controlling stake in Oak Island. Rick Lagina was the dreamer. He had read a Reader's Digest article about Oak Island as a boy and never forgot it. Marty Lagina was the engineer. He had made a fortune in natural gas exploration. Marty spent $55 million of his own money on Oak Island. Not investor money, not network money. His money he earned from drilling wells in Michigan. Money that was supposed to fund his retirement. Money that his family thought he was throwing away. For 12 seasons they found almost nothing. Wood fragments, coconut fiber, a button, a piece of leather, a single piece of parchment with 1 letter written on it, a spike, a coin. Nothing worth $55 million, nothing that proved the treasure was real. The internet mocked them, critics called them fools. Other treasure hunters said they were wasting time and money. But Marty kept drilling, he kept spending, he kept believing. He had a theory that everyone else thought was crazy. What would you have done after 12 years of failure? Would you have quit? Or would you have kept going like Marty? Marty's theory was simple. The money pit was a decoy, a trap. The real treasure was somewhere else. He believed the original builders had created the money pit to lure treasure hunters into the flood tunnels. While everyone was digging in the wrong place, the real treasure sat hidden nearby. The location Marty chose was under the swamp, a man-made body of water on the eastern side of the island. No one had ever dug there, no one had ever considered it. The geologists said the bedrock was too deep. The engineers said the drill would break. Marty ignored them all. He spent another $15 million on a new drill rig. The total cost of his obsession had now reached $55 million. $55 million on a theory that everyone said was wrong. $55 million on a hunch. The drilling started on September 28th. For the first 180 feet, nothing happened, just rock and water. The crew was bored. The producers were worried. Marty sat in silence, staring at the monitors, refusing to leave the control room. Then at 182 feet, the drill hit wood. Fresh wood, preserved for centuries. The sonar showed a structure, beams, planks, a ceiling. Someone had built something down there. Someone had constructed a room beneath the swamp. The drill punched through. The cameras went dark. Everyone held their breath. When the cameras came back on, the control room erupted. The drill had emerged into a massive chamber carved into the bedrock. The walls were smooth. The ceiling was arched, and the floor was covered in gold. The first thing the cameras showed was a throne, not a wooden throne, not a stone throne, a throne made of iron and brass. It was tall and imposing, decorated with symbols that no one in the control room recognized. This was not a chair for a common person. This was a throne for a king or a grand master. Around the throne were 47 candles made of solid gold. Each candle weighed about 5 pounds. That was over 200 pounds of gold just sitting on the floor of the chamber. 200 pounds of gold that had been there for over 500 years. Next to the throne were chests. Iron chests with brass fittings. They were heavy, too heavy for one person to lift. Inside the chests, the team found armor. Black armor that shimmered with colors when the camera lights hit it. Purple, blue, gold. The metal does not match anything known to modern science. Someone in the medieval period had access to technology that should not have existed for another 500 years. How did they make that armor? Where did they get those materials? What else did they know that has been lost to history? The team also found a book wrapped in leather and silk. Hundreds of pages written in multiple languages, Latin, French, Hebrew. And a fourth language that no one has been able to identify, a lost language, A dead language, a language that someone tried to erase from history. What do you think that book says? What secrets does it hold? Could it describe where the Templars came from? Could it explain what they found in Jerusalem? Could it reveal the location of other hidden treasures? The book contains drawings, maps, diagrams of machines that were not invented until the 1800s. How could someone in the 1300s draw a machine that would not exist for 500 years? Either the book is a fake, or history is completely wrong about what our ancestors knew. But the most important discovery was the sarcophagus, a black stone coffin covered in symbols, the same symbols found on Templar graves in Europe. The same symbols carved into the walls of Rosslyn Chapel in Scotland, the same symbols that have fascinated historians for centuries. The sonar showed something inside the sarcophagus, a body. Human remains, someone important enough to deserve a hidden chamber, a throne, golden candles, and a curse that has lasted 6 centuries. Someone who did not want to be found. Someone who built flood tunnels to keep people away. Who was it? Some historians think it is Henry Sinclair, a Scottish prince who sailed to North America in 1398, almost 100 years before Columbus. Sinclair had Templar connections. He had ships. He had reasons to hide his true mission from the world. Others think it might be a Templar Grand Master who escaped the purge in France. The Grand Master was burned at the stake in 1314, but some believe his body was swapped. Some believe he escaped to Scotland and then to the New World. Some believe he died on Oak Island. Some even think it could be someone else entirely. Someone whose name has been erased from history. Someone who was so dangerous that even mentioning their name was forbidden. Someone who had to be buried in secret so that no one would ever find their grave. No one knows for sure. The sarcophagus has not been opened yet. The Canadian government stopped the Laginas from opening it. They want archaeologists present. They want religious leaders. They want the Mi'kmaq people to perform a blessing. The opening will happen in season 14. The whole world will watch. Do you think they should open it? Or should they leave it sealed forever? What if the curse is real? What if opening the sarcophagus triggers the 7th death? Would that be worth it just to satisfy our curiosity? 3 days after they found the chamber, the swamp turned red. Blood red. Scientists tested the water. They found iron and sulfur. But they also found something else. Something they cannot identify, an organic compound that does not match any known substance on Earth. The Mi'kmaq elders were asked about the red water. They refused to come to the island. One elder spoke through a translator. She said the ground is eating again. It has eaten 6 men. It wants a 7th. The red water is blood, the blood of the one who is coming. Do you believe in the curse now, or do you think it is just an old story told to scare children? The Mi'kmaq have lived in Nova Scotia for over 10,000 years. Their oral traditions go back further than any written record. They knew about Oak Island long before the teenagers arrived in 1795. They called it the floating island of the dead. They warned their children never to go there. They said the island would eat anyone who stepped on it. For thousands of years, they stayed away. They knew something that we are only now beginning to understand. The crew started having nightmares. Marty has the same dream every night. He is standing in the chamber. The sarcophagus opens. A hand reaches out. A voice speaks in a language he does not understand. He wakes up screaming, covered in sweat, unable to breathe. Rick has the same dream. 3 other crew members have it too. They all see the same thing, the sarcophagus opening, the hand reaching out, the voice speaking in words that sound like Latin but are not quite Latin, something older, something darker. Something that should not exist. The red water is still there. The nightmares will not stop. The curse is waiting for its 7th victim. Is it Marty? Is it Rick? Is it one of the crew members? Or is it you watching this at home, unable to look away? Could the curse reach through the screen? Could the 7th death be someone who simply watched the discovery on television? Someone who became too obsessed. Someone who could not stop thinking about what was inside that black stone coffin. The $55 million drilling operation had finally found the Oak Island secret that nobody was supposed to see. The treasure is real. The gold is real. The throne is real. The sarcophagus is real. But the real treasure was never the gold. The real treasure is the truth. The truth that history is wrong. The truth that someone came to North America long before Columbus. The truth that the Knights Templar did not disappear. They hid, they built, they waited, and they are still hiding. The sarcophagus proves it. The body inside that black stone coffin proves it. Think about what this means. If the Templars reached North America in the 1300s, everything we learned in school is wrong. Columbus was not the first. The Vikings were not the first. The Templars were the first, and they brought something with them, something important enough to bury under an island. What did they bring? Gold, yes. Jewels, yes. Religious artifacts, probably. But also knowledge. Knowledge that the Catholic Church did not want people to have. Knowledge about the true history of Christianity. Knowledge about where the Holy Grail really is. Knowledge that could have destroyed the Church. That is why they were destroyed. That is why their Grand Master was burned at the stake. That is why their treasure had to disappear. Not because they were heretics, because they knew too much, and they refused to keep quiet, so they ran. They took their treasure and their knowledge and their secrets and they sailed west. Across the Atlantic, to a place no European had ever been, to a small island covered in oak trees, and there they built a vault that would protect their secrets forever. They built the money pit as a decoy. They built the flood tunnels as a trap. They built the hidden chamber under the swamp as the real resting place. And they buried one of their own inside a black stone coffin to guard the treasure for eternity. Marty Lagina has spent $55 million and 13 years of his life. He is 71 years old. He has given everything to this island. His money, his time, his marriage, his peace of mind. He says season 14 will be his last. He will open the sarcophagus. He will find out who is inside. He will break the curse or he will fulfill it. Either way, the mystery will end. Either way, the world will finally know the truth about Oak Island. Either way, Marty will have his answer after 13 long years. The world will be watching. The Mi'kmaq will be watching. The curse will be watching. And somewhere deep beneath Oak Island, inside a black stone coffin, something is waiting. Something that has been waiting for over 500 years. Something that may not be as dead as we think. What if the body is preserved? What if the cold, dark, airless chamber kept it from decaying? What if the curse is not about death but about awakening? What if opening the sarcophagus does not kill the seventh person but releases something? What do you think happens when they open it? Do they find a body? A skeleton? Dust? Or do they find something else? Something alive, something preserved, something that was never meant to see the light of day again. The answer is coming. Season 14 will reveal everything. The truth about Oak Island, the truth about the Templars, the truth about who really discovered America, and the truth about whether some secrets should stay buried forever. The drill is ready. The cameras are ready. The world is ready. Only one question remains. A question that has been asked for over 200 years. A question that has driven men mad and cost 6 lives. Would you open the sarcophagus? Would you be the one to lift the lid and look inside? Would you risk the curse? Would you risk being the seventh death? Would you risk whatever is waiting in that black stone coffin? The Mi'kmaq elders have a warning. They say the island has been eating for 10,000 years. They say it will not stop until it has eaten 7. 6 are already gone. 1 more is needed. Who will it be? Some say the curse chooses its victims. Some say the victims choose themselves. Every person who ever dug into Oak Island made a choice. They chose to search. They chose to dig. They chose to ignore the warnings, and 6 of them paid with their lives. Marty Lagina knows the story. He knows about the curse. He knows about the 6 deaths. He knows about the red water and the nightmares, but he is still going to open that sarcophagus. He has come too far to stop now. He has spent too much to turn back. Is he brave, or is he foolish? Maybe both. Maybe that is what it takes to solve a mystery that has lasted over 500 years. Maybe the curse only ends when someone is willing to be the 7th. Maybe Marty is that someone. Think about the alternative. If they do not open the sarcophagus, the mystery continues forever. The treasure stays buried. The truth stays hidden. The curse stays unbroken. More people will come, more people will dig, more people will die. The 7th death will happen eventually. So maybe opening the sarcophagus is the only way to end it. Maybe the curse demands a 7th death, but that death could be the last. After 7, the curse is broken. After 7, the island is free. After 7, the treasure can finally be claimed. But what if the curse does not work that way? What if the 7th death is not the end but the beginning? What if the curse needs 7 deaths to fully awaken something? What if the body in the sarcophagus is not a person but a prison? And what if 7 deaths are the keys to unlock it? The red water appeared 3 days after the chamber was opened. Coincidence? The nightmares started the same week. Coincidence? The Mi'kmaq refused to go near the island. Coincidence? Or is something actually happening on Oak Island? Something that science cannot explain. The $55 million drilling operation finally found the Oak Island secret that nobody was supposed to see. But now that they have found it, what should they do with it? Open it? Seal it? Destroy it? Walk away? Only one question remains. A question that only you can answer. A question that will finally be answered when that black stone lid is lifted. Would you open the sarcophagus?